Hi guys, welcome back to our video. Today we got to test ride this Iron 883 Harley Davidson. So because we are trying the Sportster S later on, which is the newer generation of this Iron 883, so we decided to loan it from a friend to try out what's the difference. Well, of course, it's the 883, it's not the 1.2 liter variant. Okay, sitting on it, let's try out. So sitting on it is pretty interesting. It's keyless, so just turn on and then how do I start? Here, this button here. Okay, you can hear the rumble. Okay, and here we go. And there's a lot of vibration. You can feel that the gear lever is pretty hard. Very tough kind of feeling when you step on it or you hook it back. You have to hear that clap sound in order to ensure that it's engaged into gear. Okay, you see a lot of buttons here and there. The left and the right signal is actually separated. And then you have a very simple dash, which shows you the speed and gear and also the rev. Okay, I find the seat a little bit small for me. So the seat has a curved shape that wraps around your butt. So my butt is slightly rounder, so it becomes like there's some little space at the very deep depth. Okay, which I find it very weird. Okay, but if you are a streamer, then probably I guess the seat can grab your butt very nicely. Okay, because this is not an original handlebar, so it's slightly sportier where I have to bend forward. The other thing I realized is I have to keep the RPM above 2003. If not, I can feel that the bike is very jerky. So probably that's the threshold. And I guess a Harley air-cooled engine doesn't have a high rev. I guess it makes out, I don't know, I'm just guessing maybe 6,000 or even lower. So you can see that the engine is moving forward and backward because of the V configuration. The clutch is okay, decent, not very heavy because it's an 883 after all. So riding Harley, I think the most common mod that you can find is to invert the mirror. You can see here, that's what people usually do. Then instead of upright, basically it's a very straightforward mod. You just change the left to right, right to left, and then invert. That's what I heard from a friend. Okay, on higher rev, you will also feel the vibration from the foot peg. I would say very heavy, significant kind of vibration. So if you are very used to those inline 4 high-tech bike smoothness, then Harley is not for you. Harley is about the raw power. Today there's a lot of traffic, but it's okay because we are meant to ride cruise slowly on this bike. Okay, I keep on engaging force neutral because I'm not used to this kind of raw bike where you really need to give it a very tough and firm kick, okay, instead of just a tap. Actually, the agility is not as bad as I think. I always thought that cruisers are hard to lean in, but this is quite easy. Okay, the whole bike is quite light. Probably we need to find a U-turn and then see whether we can squeeze it through. Okay, same thing, stopping, you have to really move your feet outwards. And there's no way you can do tank grip because the tank is quite small and then the airbox is here. Okay, this foot peg, we always hook it up. Okay, the suspension is quite decent, I would say. You don't really feel the bump, okay? Okay, I got confused because the mirror is bottom. I keep looking here, but I see nothing. As you were saying, the suspension is quite okay, quite plush. It's not the very hard kind. So over bumps on lower speed is still okay. It's just the higher speed part that we are not sure of. Probably we gotta bring it to a highway and then maybe test a U-turn, see how it goes on tight corners. I guess all cruiser, because of its long wheelbase, it will suffer a bit on tight maneuver. Okay, I'm really not used to the gear shifting. I always couldn't engage into the next gear. Okay, speed camera ahead, so we just need to slow down a little bit, follow the car in front. Okay, lane splitting is not bad also, although just one car only. But you can see it's ample space for us to clear through. Okay, this is another weird design. This foot tag doesn't have a spring to spring it back. So once you accidentally push it up, then it will be up always. We are starting to feel the heat. Okay, on stationary. So the heat mainly comes from the right side where the pipe is. Okay, I'm not used to the signal light still. I always try to push instead of press. Okay, the brakes are decent, I would say. But if you want to stop at a very fast pace, generally the brakes are not that responsive. Okay, again, I couldn't find the mirror for that moment. Okay, I can't really use two finger because I don't feel that the brake is that responsive. I guess the comfortable range of riding this is around 2000-ish, 3000 RPM, where you feel the least vibration around your hands and also your foot, and then it just cruises at a very comfortable pace. That's what I like. Now we try to head to AYE and then try it on a cruising speed, a highway speed, and then see how it goes. Okay, the heat actually is not bad because you're not very close to it. You feel a bit, but it's not scorching hot that it will burn you. Okay, once again, I'm trying to find a mirror. Okay, the brakes, you really have to squeeze them really hard in order to achieve that sharp braking feel. But anyway, riding a Harley is not really about performance, it's really about style and heritage. American muscle bike. It's all about the rawness and the manly feeling. I don't dare to go low because I don't want to scrape the back and the bike is not mine. Okay, this is a mid control by the way. So a forward control will be somewhere here. I'm on 4th gear now. Okay, let the sports bike pass through. Slowly change lane. I'm on a P. Okay, maximum 5 gear as per the standard of being an air-cooled engine. standard 5 speed, so slow down a little bit because there's a speed camera. So you're cruising at 90 right now, about 2,500 RPM. Pretty good, this kind of feeling. But if you want to go on a higher pace, let's try. Okay, you can feel that the vibration on my seat and also a lot of wind blast. Okay, which is not comfortable. I guess a Harley or a cruiser generally is best at its 90, 100, this kind of cruising, maintain it at around under 3,000 RPM. So that's the best of it. Once you're at the wrong gear, it doesn't have a lot of power. And it doesn't have a lot of braking power as well. Okay, we shall make a U-turn here. It's not really a hooligan bike as per se, so it's something more like a classic. That's why I guess younger rider doesn't really appreciate, because this one doesn't have the power that they want. So generally it attracts more mature rider with, you have been there, done that, you rode fast, you just want something to relax, yet it shouts a certain level of statement. And the fuel cap is not lockable, it's just spin, just like the old school kind. Okay, interesting. I'm still not used to the mirror being at the bottom. The greatest challenge now is the U-turn. So probably we have to stand by going to the outer side of that lane. Surprisingly, it's not the hottest engine I ever rode. It's still very manageable. Okay, we do a U-turn. Okay, actually not that bad, not that bad. It's easier than I expected. Pretty easy. Okay, we gotta do one more U-turn before we can hit back to the highway. Okay, so this is the odometer button, trip A, trip B, timing, gear and RPM. And then of course you got your horn, high beam, low beam. Interesting, I cannot reach. You can see that I can't reach this inner button, but this side I can. Probably because of the lever here. Okay, if I set myself to neutral, okay, then it's easy. Once you're on clutch, it's pretty hard. Okay. Slowly but surely, not that bad. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of the buttons and the mirrors. So although it's a very huge displacement engine, but it doesn't feel like it because it's still a very traditional layout. It doesn't have very high compression, it's air cooled, etc. Makes this engine a little bit dated, and that's where the heritage part actually shines as compared to more modern engines. So when you twist the throttle at higher gear, you don't expect it to respond very quickly to your throttle. It will take some time. The other thing I really noticed is it's not very loud, probably because this is the 883, not the 1002 or the 1008. The muffler sound or the exhaust sound is not that loud as a rider. So even on higher rev, I don't hear much, I would say. Not to the extent that you have with any Harley riding past you. Wow, that traffic. one does that on Harley, try to squeeze through here and there. I guess I am the only one. Can clearly tell that I'm not a Harley person. On this Iron 883, we will not know the average fuel consumption because there's no indicator here on the meter. If you're riding a class 2 bike, do you really care about fuel economy? Probably your fuel economy will be not that great also. So around the 15 to 25-ish, depends on your riding style and how you ride. Fuel efficiency is something that you cannot complain about when you ride a class 2 bike. Okay, the signal button actually feels like a horn. So whenever I try to hit it, I always felt that I'm pressing the horn. I guess it's not that bad because the pipe doesn't really come into close contact to your legs in any way. So the header is one here, and then the other one is behind your calf. So not that bad, it doesn't come close to you. Unlike the Aprilia I used to ride, and also the Husqvarna I used to have. Okay. Slowly going over the fan. Okay, I can't find the main stand. Okay, you can see that the headlight is pretty retro looking, small with a crown. And then the speedometer is very simple, so it's just one round, small little round thing. Engine light, battery, ABS is keyless, and then the handlebar lock is here. So this is the traditional Harley engine, which the airbox is here, and then it uses the con rod to push the valve instead of timer chain. And after a ride, you will hear this sound, crackling sound. That's signaturely Harley because it's hot, the metal is contracting. You will generally hear this sound on any bike that produce very hot exhaust pipe. Okay, but most of the time, all the Harleys, you will hear it. Alright, so today that's all for the test ride on this Harley Davidson Iron 883. See you on the next video. Bye bye.